Any questions? So guys, now we have the bread and butter, just like the stance and the uh, positioning of the body is not like well explained on the sources, especially on the early ones. We kind of depend on the illustrations and like veiled hints on the text or the glosse, which we are not sure if they're hints really, but we hope they are. This is probably taken from martial arts like kendo. We got our square, imaginary square here, and simple step is just a step, a step. So front foot leads, back foot follows. You can do a rising your toes, which takes you a little distance, a reach, or you can keep your feet and toes touching the floor, like we show on the other illustrations. And basically, if I'm going backwards, same thing. One follows. I'll change my foot. If I'm going sideways, the foot closer to the direction I'm going, that's the left one. I'm going that way, same thing. And then if I'm going that way, I change footing, pop, same thing. We try not to cross the feet for a long time unless it's like a really fast transition. And then we have a passing step, which is just a step. I think in kendo it's called a yumiachi, and you just. On 417, we teach the student to step up, keeping that extension, keeping your structure, keeping your fist, especially if you have like a trainer on your hands. And it's very difficult, especially when we have students from schools that they don't have good structure. It's challenging for them to the point of frustration to catch on that structure. Sometimes they don't understand why we're doing it, even when we explain it ad nauseum, but that's the way, at least for us. So passing step, the same thing backwards. Hoop. 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 Passing step. Okay. We got a skip step or gathering step. Is used to this point, and it's used basically made in martial art, where you gather the back foot, changing the starting line of the propelling, and then moving from there instead of just going here. I change my starting point. But it looks like the skipping test when you go like marching. You go left, right, left, right. Oh, I'm off beat. I go back. And usually people either do front foot, back foot, front foot, back foot, depending on who taught you and where you like. So it's kind of related to that. And you can play with that off-beat distance. You can gather, and you can still do the same distance you will do with a regular step, just to misdirect your opponent, for example. You can do it backwards. But I gather, because I'm going that way. Now I reach at least 25% percent more distance than I would normally reach on my original starting position. And that's the gathering step. We have what I call the first part of the triangle step. So a triangle step in most martial arts is just shifting the feet, but getting out of them. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. You can do it in place. If this is the midline, and this comes to us from Kendo and other martial arts also, but you see it in later Western traditions. You see changing of the foot almost in place. I have a name, it's probably an Italian name, I don't remember. And basically if I'm on the midline and I want to void that line, I shift weight and positioning of my back foot to the front, and then the other one follows, staying on back. If I'm gonna void on the other side, same thing. So, and you can do a whole bunch of exercises and repetitions with the sword in place in a really constrained space, just doing that. The full movement will be pop, pop. So I'm going. Nope, sorry. I'm changing. Poop, poop. And I'm voiding and changing direction. That will be the whole thing. So this is like the preamble of that whole movement. So you can be in line with someone, and then you change footing, and you are on the other line. So you are squaring out, changing completely the angle. Something similar to what the boxers do when they just go whoop. Same thing, different execution, but it's basically the same effect. You can move and advance. But voiding the line. Voiding the line. You can do it sideways. Pop, 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 pop. Not like that. Keeping good structure, etc. I'm trying to go like as fast as I can. I'm sorry. With that, we cover mostly stance, kinetic change, how we use our feet, the height of the stance, how we propel ourselves actually with the different steps we can do. We know this is like borrowed knowledge, but it's natural to probably every human being. True word through history may have changed this a little bit, not too much. You see on the sources, it's the same pivoting point, the same alignment of the foot more or less, the illustrations vary in quality. They are not all that obvious. Some sources don't have illustrations, so good luck with that. We talked before, I forgot to